him because, listen, this guy did like a week worth of videos saying, Eagle fans, stop bothering me. And then today, what does he do? He runs and does a video again about me because I didn't talk about Dallas enough. I didn't talk about the Cowboys.
Mad genius there, Philly.
It's just craziness.
Wait.
You're telling me I'm a genius? Tell my wife. She don't believe it.
Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute, Philly. Wait a minute.
Listen.
I gotta just give me a second here. I got an emergency. Okay, just bear with me. Okay.
Okay.
He's going to go eat a chicken wing or something.
Hey,
but
wait.
Listen.
Tell me. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man. I mean,
no. But I mean, it's like I told everybody he'll come in with a prop today. I bet he does. See, I told you. I knew it. I called it. Damn, I'm good. That's all right. It's perfect. Here you go. Yes. So here's the thing. He's crying now about Eagle fans complaining about something.
Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as the Funky Chicken, and then we got Bucky, the damn beat. Bucky, what are you doing? Bucky? What the hell are you doing to Joe Boo there, Bucky? Holy shit! He a freak. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and it is Cowboys Eagles week, and things are getting to be a little bit crazy out here. We have an opportunity, and here's something that this morning I woke up and I saw this clip. This is from yesterday, and I hadn't thought about this from Peter Strager, but if you were talking about Dak Prescott being an MVP, here's where he can stake his claim to be just that. Listen to this now. I would show the clip, but it's first take, and it'll definitely get copyrighted.
At stake for Dak Prescott this weekend.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I was in Dallas and watched the Dallas Cowboys put together one of the worst performances you will see an NFL team do on Monday Night Football, losing to the Arizona Cardinals with
that they did.
B.A.M. Knight and DeMarcado running all over them and us hailing Jacoby Brissett the next great thing. 2 weeks later, Swagoo and I were in Vegas, and I watched a Cowboys team that I think would have beaten the 76 Steelers on Monday night. This Cowboys team looked night and day from the version that we saw just 2 weeks earlier. And my statement here is that the next 3 games, this stretch, is a legacy-defining 3 weeks for one Dak Prescott. And I believe there's a very good chance that the Cowboys run the table in these 3 games. Now, hear me out. Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Eagles game, national audience. Chiefs game, Thanksgiving. Lions, national audience. This Cowboys team, with the additions of Quinnen and Logan Wilson and what they got back with Overshown, and then I take it to a dramatic place here, and I understand this is a bit of a right turn, but Swagoo is in the building as well, and I think he could back me up. The way this team got off the bus, in their Marshawn Kneeland shirts, coming off a bye week, where they were listening to all the outside noise going into it, and then real life happened, I believe this team is all on the same page. I believe they were galvanized by this moment, and I believe they needed something like Monday night's victory to kickstart and look at each other and say, you know what, screw it, let's do this thing. Dak Prescott has been good all season long. Heavy is the crown. He makes a ton of money. He makes $60 million. Go have your stretch. Go have your moment. These next 3 weeks, I could see the Cowboys doing some real things here and following Dak's lead, who has been the ultimate leader through what was a real-life tragedy and a real-life crisis, and he has handled this like maybe no other quarterback could.
Wow.
Last night, the Cowboys became relevant again.
So, thoughts on that this is legacy building, that this is shit or get off the toilet. And I might say, if you start talking about having 4 games in 18 days, that's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. That's, but fortunately, with the exception of Dak Prescott having his hip, he was listed yesterday on the injury report, probably won't be on today, just a little bit of soreness, basically. And there's quite a few players that were listed on the injury report. In fact, actually, let's go to this because the Cowboys might be playing the Eagles at the right time. They are under so much scrutiny on their offense that has not lived up to what you thought they would be. Saquon Barkley is about half of what he was last year in yardage, kind of like I said might happen. A.J. Brown, you're getting people actually saying maybe A.J. Brown is washed because literally he's half of what George Pickens' yards are in this offense. Their defense, it's great. It's legendary. But the Cowboys' defense had been leaving a lot to be desired, but definitely improved big time this past week. Overshown, got his first game under his belt. Should be a little bit better this week. And we got back a lot of players last week. Now, here's the thing. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles right now, they got problems with their line. Their injuries. Let's go down the injury list. Now, Willie Limpkins was a full participant, but he's listed with a knee. That's their offensive guard. Miles Hilton, offensive tackle, listed. He was a full participant, injury with the back. Jalen Phillips, limited in practice with the shoulder, just got there. Cam Jurgens, this one might be the big one here. Cam Jurgens was not participating in practice with a concussion. And we know Lane Johnson is out. He probably will go on injured reserve and is going to be out the next 4 to 6 weeks or so. That's what they're looking at. So you look at that, they are hit big time with guys that are nicked up, and you don't know if Cam Jurgens is going to be out of concussion protocol to play Sunday. And here's an amazing fact for you. Surprisingly, Cam Jurgens, who got his contract beginning of last year, his extension after his third year, would you believe that Cooper Beebe, per Pro Football Focus, and you can take that for what it's worth, is rated higher than Cam Jurgens?
Oh, shit!
Now, by all means, am I not trying to say that the Cowboys, have the talent the Eagles have? They don't. But you got Dak, who's been 9-5 against him. You have a team that's been playing well at home, except against the Cardinals, that will be an emotional Sunday with it being the first game since Marshawn Nealon has played. It's going to be a big game. And if the Cowboys play well that game, then they've got a Kansas City team that has been straight at 500. That's not the same Kansas City team that we've seen. And then we've got a Detroit Lions game that's on the road. For the Cowboys, it would be legendary if the Cowboys, after the start that they had, after the adversity of losing a teammate, were to be able to do something. If you'd have to definitely put Dak Prescott in that conversation. As far as Dak's season goes, Dak, as far as the passing, is top 5, if not number 1 in everything this year. Passing percentages. QBR. Dak Prescott's the highest one. In yardage, Dak is 5th. In TDs, Dak is 2nd. Completion percentage, he's 4th. For anybody to say he's not a top 10 or top 5 quarterback, you're a freaking idiot. Let's go ahead. I want to play this clip because, Pro Football Focus, Pro Football Talk, they have a lot of bad takes a lot of times. Things like there might be a Dez Bryant tape out there that's 5 times worse than Ray Rice's, or they can't sign George Pickens, or if they sign George Pickens, they have to trade CeeDee Lamb. But this one's actually kind of interesting.
They are in position to make the postseason. It's not going to be easy, though. You look at the upcoming schedule: Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings. Well, that's an easy win. Chargers, Washington, that's an easy win. But still, you've got 4 games coming up that are not going to be easy for the Dallas Cowboys as they get down this stretch run.
What would you do? What would you do? Would you bet they make the playoffs or not?
No.
Right.
They're not going to make it.
Yeah.
They're going to come close, but they're not going to make it.
I'd be worried too. And
that tie could help them, though.
Right.
That tie could help them. That tie is either going to be the thing that keeps them out or keeps them in. It's going to keep them a half game from a cluster that they could win at the 7 seed, or it's going to be the thing that gets them, under the stone door and reach back and grab the hat like Indiana Jones to get the 7 seed, having that tie from week 4 against the Packers.
They're going to need some help, right? I think that's the big thing you look at it. Like, could they still get in there, right? You said it, the schedule's kind of tough, right? But they need help, and they could get it, right? Because you look at it and you go, really, what's the issue? To me, it's the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears, the 49ers. I'm going to play that the Lions are going to be good enough to get this and figure this out a little bit that way. But even them, they have a tough schedule in front of them as well. So if the Cowboys can win, you look at the Packers schedule, you look at the Bears schedule, you go, whoa, they got some tough games coming up. Let me just give you a little taste of it, okay? The Green Bay Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings. The Packers aren't playing that great of football to just go, we'll chalk up all those wins or half of them. I mean, yeah. So that's going to be dicey when you look at that, right? So there's Green Bay. Perfect, guys. Way to go. You see that right there, all right? Let's see can we flip it to the Bears?
I know of 2 wins lurking. I know of 2 wins lurking for the Packers.
Right, and I wouldn't say that definitely. You guys are still scary. But then here's the Bears. The Bears, look, Steelers, at Eagles, at Packers. Browns are scary always with that D. But then the Packers and then at the 49ers and the Lions again? Is it crazy to sit here and go, like, Chicago in 4 weeks is another team that could be 7-8? Like, and they can lose 4 in a row? Or at least 3 out of 4, something like that? Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. So that's where the Cowboys got to keep playing. The 49ers are the team with the favorable schedule. They're the one team out of those teams you talk about where if the Cowboys want to get back into this thing, you look at the 49ers and go, that last or third place schedule they got from last year is certainly helping them out from this year right now. And that's where you go, that'll be a tough one. But still, even them, they got some work cut out in front of them.
Remember, throughout the offseason, that was one of the reasons why the 49ers were still the betting favorites to be
a playoff
the
team.
NFC West champion, because they did benefit from that easier schedule. And the West generally has an easier schedule this year. They may not win the division, but they are in position to pick off one of the 3 wild card berths, and we'll see. It's getting to that time of year, and there's going to be a mad scrum for those 7 playoff spots, and there will be teams that are good, deserving teams that would have potentially gotten hot if they had gotten in, and they're going to be on the outside looking in, much like the Bengals.
Yep, that is the truth. So it ain't over. It ain't over. It's not likely. But I pointed out that what you have in the NFC North is you've got a circular firing squad. I got to go back and look. But basically, I think only 2 games in the division have been played. And so you're going to be seeing the Vikings, the Bears, and the Lions, and the Packers are going to be knocking each other back. So that may be helpful. Now, let's be clear here. The Cowboys, they have to handle their own business. They have to win some games. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, yeah, they got to win games. And it starts with this Sunday. And I think the Cowboys, they got a good chance. I'm not going to guarantee a victory and everything else. The Eagles, as much as you may hate them, as much as we may talk about how bad their offense is, they find a way to win, and that's what good teams do, and the Eagles are a good team. And we'll see what we're going to see, because on any given Sunday, you can either win or lose. But this is the opportunity for the Cowboys and Dak Prescott to build a legacy. And this would be, I believe Dak is only like 150 yards away from the Cowboys' all-time passing record. That would be a great thing to get, beating the Eagles. He's about 14 away from the all-time touchdown record. And if you're talking about wanting to be an MVP, if you end up rising from the ashes of this season and somehow make the playoffs, I don't know how you can't be. Let's finish off with Get Up and they're talking a little bit about the Eagles and their dysfunction.
Started for an opening statement on this team.
Look, after last weekend, the Eagles, one of the best teams in the NFC, they are getting beat this weekend by the Dallas Cowboys. The juice Dallas is playing with, their additions with Clark, Williams coming in, trading for Logan Wilson. The defense is playing with their hair on fire right now. Look, last week against the Lions, it was a little too windy for the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff was dressed like he was in a snowstorm with the turtleneck and everything else going on. It's not windy in Dallas. Dallas beats them this weekend in Dallas Stadium.
I hope Stephen A. Smith is listening. I got one on my side. Let's dive into that game. Let's dive into those teams. Let's actually look at the Philly side of this. Jaylen Hurts talking about a report from The Athletic that some teammates have grown frustrated by his approach, specifically his hesitancy to throw the ball into tight windows against zone coverage. This is something we've been talking about forever, frankly. Veteran reporter Derek Gunn added the frustration stems primarily from Hurts, quote, playing his game instead of taking what is discussed during the week and transitioning it to game day. So this is getting bad. Hurts was asked about it yesterday.
I guess I get a lot of attention when things are going well and when things are not going so well. And so I never run away from holding myself accountable and take great pride in what we do on offense. I take great pride in how we go out there and play as a team and what our flow is. And so we obviously got work to do, and I think that obviously starts with me.
Things haven't been brought to you directly.
I don't want to get into that. I know it hasn't, though.
How about you personally?
Y'all bring it to me. I mean, I think it's a bit of a different thing. Again, I don't want to get into the weeds of anything ultimately.
So obviously, this 2-8 Eagles team is falling apart, and you can see the impact it's having on the quarterback. Now, wait a minute. I'm sorry. They're 8-2. They're the defending Super Bowl champs, and they're currently the 1 seed in the NFC. What the world is going on in that locker room? How can it be like this?
What's going on with Hurts is so disingenuous and disrespectful to Jaylen Hurts. And I'm not the biggest Jaylen Hurts fan. All this dude does is literally everything that everybody begs every other quarterback to do or knocks them for not doing. This dude is 51-14 since 2022. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1. He's been the MVP essentially in both. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl last year. All he does is win. All he does is be obsessed with football and winning and doing what's best for the team. And we're just finding ways to knock him or take shots at him or report about this about him or that about him. We heard this stuff last year about him being disliked in the locker room. And he never wavers. He never flinches. And it's this constant attack. We kill guys. Joe Burrow, does he win enough? Dak Prescott, does he win enough? Matthew Stafford didn't win enough in Detroit. Josh Allen doesn't win enough. He can't win the big game. Lamar Jackson can't. All Hurts does is everything that we beg for those quarterbacks to do.
That's right.
And all we want to do is kill them because it doesn't look the same way or the way that we want it. And I've done it before in the past as well. I don't understand why we are obsessed with trying to knock Jaylen Hurts right now when he does the only thing that people actually care about.
So why are we? You're a receiver. Obviously, his receivers are at least part of this conversation. When you're winning and the offense looks the way this has looked, are they happy? Are they knocking him? I mean, obviously, this stuff is not coming from nowhere. No one is questioning the validity of the report. If it sounds like that's what we're doing, that's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're asking why in the world this stuff is bubbling up like this on a team that has done as much high-level winning as Dan is talking about.
Because when the company's not operating at full strength, you blame the CEO. That's how it goes. He's the quarterback. He gets paid the high money. He said that even in his quotes of like, this comes along with the territory. Now, is it Jaylen Hurts' problem? Is he the reason why their offense not has sputtered, but it just hasn't reached full potential because you have so many players that are so well paid and so talented that you're not getting that output? So, yeah, people are going to need a thing to blame.
You just asked a question. Give me the answer.
I don't think he's to blame. I think it is another offensive coordinator like he's had over the last decade. I think it is the Philadelphia Eagles having to spend time every August, go through a whole new scheme and figure out exactly how to leverage the talent they have with this scheme, and it never develops past a year one because they continually change who the play callers are.
The blame of the offense falls strictly on the run game. That's why this offense has looked the way that they've looked. The fundamental starting point is the run game. Last year, at this point, Saquon Barkley had like 1,200 yards before contact. Right. This year, he's got like 500. That's almost cut in half. Okay, so the run game has been significantly decreased. Saquon has as many negative runs right now this year through 175 carries as he did last year through 345. So if we want to ask, what is the one reason why this offense has looked the way it has this year in comparison to last year? It's because they cannot run the football well consistently.
Right. They were creating explosive plays without any risk. It's the best thing you can do.
But let's blame the quarterback.
Football. But now they're not creating those, so they're not willing, and they're not willing to take the risk, so they have no explosive plays. They're winning on the backs of their defense. Shefty, get in here.
Okay, their run game may be struggling. There may be some issues. They are 8-2. They are the number 1 seed. They are the favorites to secure the number 1 seed. And if they are the number 1 seed, they would have to win 2 home games, 2 to get back to the Super Bowl. Every single week, it feels like we're mandated to lead this show with the Philadelphia Eagles, whether it's an A.J. Brown message, an A.J. Brown tweet, an A.J. Brown tirade, Jaylen Hurts criticism, whatever. Every single week, and they're 8-2.
Right.
What are we doing here?
Can I point out that you led the show with the A.J. Brown tweet? Because we didn't. You said that last week, and I wasn't going to bring it up. But then you brought it up, so now we are leading.
We get to talk about them this week because they're also playing the Dallas Cowboys. But yeah, they are 8-2. But again, everything that comes out of Philly, it feels like they are 2-8 internally. Like, yeah, I get you. I do think that we come after the quarterback Jaylen Hurts a lot, but there has to be some validity to it. With every report, every sounds on a podcast saying he's super tight with A.J. Brown, and you can see when a situation between a quarterback and receiver sticks out like a sore thumb, but he won't go that much farther into it because no one is going to sit here and just fully point the finger at Jaylen Hurts because nothing has happened yet.
But they are. Nothing's happened.
Right, it's kind of indirectly, and like it's all kind of passive around Jaylen Hurts.
Sure.
But until something blows up, you can't necessarily just say it is Jaylen Hurts. But that's where a lot of things, like last year, he had a great year, but this offense was exploding onto the scene. This year, you can talk about play calling. You can talk about Jaylen Hurts' zone coverage, being in the pocket, not making throws on time, everything else. You can talk about the run game. But last year, they did have a run game. And this year, they lead the league in what, 3 and outs?
3 and outs.
They lead the league in 3 and outs. They might have one good drive a game to where they look like that team. But outside of that defense carrying them, they do not look very good on offense.
But here's my thing. This isn't anything new with the way the quarterback plays. Years.
Yeah.
That's the style of play that Jaylen plays it. He's probably a little bit more risk averse. But when it comes to the offense, do I think this offense right now, the way it's playing, could win the Super Bowl? I do not. I've been adamant about that. But I also have watched this offense that struggled last year, hit its stride when the playoffs mattered. I also know this. You mean to tell me that one of the, let's call it the most accomplished and successful quarterbacks over the last 3 or 4 years, 2 of the highest paid receivers, 2 of the highest paid offensive tackles, the highest paid running back, they can't play anymore?
Well,
those guys can't play anymore? So,
I will say that one of them won't play for the next 4 or 6 weeks. He can't play for the next 4 or 6 weeks. So just saying. And AJ might be a little washed. I'm just that's what people are saying. Just saying. So, you know, and I can look at Pat Mahomes and say Pat Mahomes isn't exactly the same guy he was a couple of years ago. Just saying. But go ahead, Dan.
It's not just those individual players forgot how to play football or have fallen off the planet and can't, and one of the highest paid tight ends. There is a reality where this scheme isn't necessarily highlighting all the strengths. They got to play better up front. But the way we talk about the quarterback is the way that we talk about guys who are bottom 5 at the position, and it's disingenuous and disrespectful.
I think the big thing is when you look at those statistics, because I think you're right. You're saying that this offense isn't good enough to win the Super Bowl. I agree, right, the way they've played. But when you look at this roster, both defensively and offensively, they should be good enough to win the Super Bowl.
Totally.
So that discrepancy, to your point, like we can point to whatever that is. And I'm not saying it's the quarterback. I'm saying it's this new offensive coordinator in the scheme. In 2023, they started the season 10-1, and they imploded. And then going into last year, it was Sirianni and Jaylen Hurts have a terrible relationship. There was another explosive article about this organization. They also started 8-2, and they won the Super Bowl. So can they win it? Absolutely they can because they have the horses in the stable.
Right.
But the reality is that they have to get better.
Someone needs to say out loud that this season, this team that can't win the Super Bowl has beaten the Rams, beaten the Chiefs, beaten the Lions, beaten the Packers.
Yeah, but this offense.
So they've beaten all of the teams that they would have to beat to do this again.
Yeah, but this offense is not good enough. Like, you're not going to beat in a playoff teams. You're not going to beat, or in a playoff game, you're not going to beat Seattle playing this way. You're not going to beat LA playing this way.
Okay. All right. There you have it. All right, good people. As always, I appreciate you all. And it is Cowboys Eagles week. Have a great day, and I got to get out of here.